Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Vraja Janoranjana Jashodanandana Vraja Janoranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare Jayo Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe Jayo Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jayo Jagannatha Jayo Baladeva Jayo Subhadra Devi Jayo Gauranitai Jayo Gauranithai Jaya Gauranithai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna devotees. Hare Krishna. Is my voice audible to all of you? Okay, welcome to Sunday Feast class at ISKCONofRoundRock. So today's topic of discussion is Saranagati, which is to take the shelter of the Supreme Lord. So we'll be discussing on various aspects of Saranagati, and then later on we will see some examples from our scriptures how devotees took shelter of the Supreme Lord and got benefited. So before we get into the topic, let's offer our prayers to the previous acharyas and Guru Parampara, and then start with reciting slokas and getting into the topic. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shuidha Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrapyascha Kripa Sindhupye Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Rama Ramo, Hare Hare. So today's topic for discussion is Saranagati, and the sloka which is relevant to Saranagati is one of the major slokas in the Bhagavad Gita. It is 18.66. Let me recite the sloka. Please follow me. You can also recite back. Sarvadharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham dvam sarvapapebhyo mokshaishyami ma suchaha. Anybody wants to recite? सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः। सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. The translation goes like this: abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So we have big puppet. Somebody wants to read the puppet? Rakshishyati Vishvashu. It's not good? No, you can. Okay. Anukulyasya Sankalpa Pratikulyasya Varjanam Rakshishyati Vishvashu Goptrutve Varanam Tatha Atmanikshepa Karpanya Shatvidhi Sharanagatihi.
One should always think himself helpless and should consider Krishna the only basis for his progress in life. As soon as one seriously engages himself in devotional service to the Lord in full Krishna consciousness, at once he becomes freed from all contamination of material nature. There are different processes of religion and purificatory processes by cultivation of knowledge, meditation in the mystic yoga system, etc. But one who surrenders unto Krishna does not have to execute so many methods. That simple surrender unto Krishna will save him from unnecessary wasting time. One can thus make all progress at once and be freed from all sinful reactions.
Last paragraph.
Okay. One should be attached by the beautiful vision of Krishna. His name is Krishna because he is all attractive. One who becomes attracted by the beautiful, all-powerful, omnipotent vision of Krishna is fortunate. There are different kinds of transcendentalists. Some of them are attached to the impersonal Brahman vision. Some of them are attracted by the super soul feature, etc. But one who is attracted to the personal feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and above all, one who is attracted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Krishna himself, is the most perfect transcendentalist. In other words, devotional service to Krishna in full consciousness is the most confidential part of knowledge, and this is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita. Karma yogis, empiric philosophers, mystics, and devotees are all called transcendentalists, but one who is pure devotee is the best of all. The particular words used here, ma suchaha, don't fear, don't hesitate, don't worry, are very significant. One may be perplexed as to how one can give up all kinds of religious forms and simply surrender unto Krishna, but such worry is useless.
Okay. So, thank you, Mataji, for a long purport. Yeah. So, in this sloka, Krishna says that one has to give up all varieties of religion and surrender unto him. So why is Krishna demanding this one? It is for our benefit he is demanding. So for surrendering to Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna, we must know how to take shelter of Krishna. So that is the process of Saranagati. So that process is given in the purport. This Anukulya Shankalpa Pratikulya Shavarjanam. So this is the process of surrender which has been given by the Acharyas. Now even before getting into this aspect of surrendering to Krishna or taking shelter of Krishna, a question comes in the mind, right? Why should we take shelter of Krishna? Right? So now if we are going for book distribution and we are distributing Srila Prabhupada's book, if somebody takes Bhagavad Gita, ultimately he will come to this sloka. And then this sloka is the ultimate sloka, is almost like the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says that you don't have to take shelter of me. So why should that particular person take shelter of Krishna? Right? So any guess, any answers? So we are also coming here every Sunday, we are doing many services. We could be doing many other things in our life, right? We could be, doing some extra, whatever, we can earn extra income or do something for our health. But why are we coming and doing this service here? What is the purpose? Why are we, taking out time and doing this service? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's philosophical answer. Yeah, I understand. But then, just like outside person, you go to I-35, you say that, see, we have this Bhagavad Gita. He will say that, why I want this? I have my family, I have my kids, so they are going to school, they are very happy. Why you are bothering me? Why you are asking me to take shelter of Lord? Right? So what is the answer we will give to him? Do you think, surrender is required for everybody or not?
It is.
It is. So why is surrender required? That's the question.
I mean, there are a lot of different reasons why people surrender
Mm-hmm.
certain things. one who has realized that they're fed up of this birth and death, or all they have been doing is just birth, death, every single day they are working, it's a whole process again and again and again. One who realizes that and wants to explore something more meaningful to the life, they would be interested in getting out of this cycle of birth and death.
Okay.
That could be one reason why
That could be one
they
reason.
should
Yeah.
surrender. But for me personally, surrender is more of a reciprocation of Krishna's love from our side.
Thank you, Mataji. Is anybody? Yeah.
Also, the principle of bhakti is around service. When we come to a realization that we are not the masters, because masters cannot serve masters. We are incomplete in every sense. We have many faults. So we do realize that, by following the principle of service, we can purify ourselves and we can potentially get rid of our anarthas.
Okay.
So that gels well within the principle of service to somebody who is superior, who's the master of all.
Okay.
And that's the principle of service comes in as a from bhakti.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. So, this yes, Prabhuji, go ahead. To deal with day-to-day material problems. So for that, bhakti is required, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So these are all various answers, philosophically. So these answers comes because we have come already to the process of devotional service, and we realize the futility of this material world. But then Bhagavatam, it describes about vividly describes about the futility of this material world and material happiness. I'll just narrate a story which comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then correlate with this particular question of why we have to surrender to Krishna. So there was a character, there was a devotee, not devotee, basically a character in Bhagavatam called Sudyumna. How many of you know about Sudyumna? No? Okay. So he is the son of Manu. So from Lord Brahma comes Marichi, and from Marichi comes Kashyapa, and from Kashyapa, Aditi. Kashyapa and Aditi, Vivasvan is born. And from Vivasvan, Vaivasvata Manu comes up. And from Vaivasvata Manu, Sudyumna is born. So he is the first son of Vaivasvata Manu. So from Vaivasvata Manu also comes Ikshvaku. So Sudyumna is even born before Ikshvaku. Okay, he is the first son. Okay, so the storyline goes like this, that Manu wants a son. So he goes to his spiritual priest, Vashishta, and he expresses his desire. And Vashishta, he performs a yajna to performs a yajna so that Manu will get a son. But suppose Manu's wife, she will go to the priest who is doing the yajna, and she will say that, see, I don't want a son, I want a daughter. Okay. And then when the priest is pouring the sacrificial offering, he will remember that Manu's wife has told that she wants a daughter, and then he will change the mantras accordingly. And finally what happens is that a daughter is born to Manu, and they give the name Ila. Her name is Ila. But then Manu is not satisfied because he wants a son. Why he wants a son? Because that's his service. He has to procreate this universe, populate the universe, and that's why he requires a son. So he is not happy. And then he goes to Vashishta and says that, see, I requested a son and you have performed yajna, but I have got a daughter. So what is this? You please correct it. So Vashishta, he thinks about it, and then he finds out that his priest has done a mistake in chanting the mantras. And then Vashishta, he prays to Supreme Personality of Godhead and Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Vishnu. He appears and then appears out. He grants the boon that Ila would be converted into a beautiful man. So a daughter is born, but then this daughter is converted into a beautiful man. And this man is Sudyumna. Okay, and he becomes the king. And he is very beautiful, he is very powerful, he is capable, he has all the good characters and good characters. Sudyumna, he's like, he's the first son of Manu. So after this happens, so once Sudyumna goes for a hunting, he goes to a forest, and that is somewhere it is mentioned, it is somewhere in southern Sumeru, Sumeru Parvata, near that Meru mountain. He goes there, and while entering into the forest, what happens is that the Sudyumna sex reverses. He becomes a female, and whoever had come with Sudyumna, their sex also reverses. They all became female. So that's because that particular Vana is called Sukumara, I believe. So that Sukumara Vana belongs to Lord Shiva, and there is some benediction which Lord Shiva has given to Parvati that whoever is coming into this forest, they will all become female. So Sudyumna, first he was born as a woman, and then he was changed into a man, and then again now he gets into the forest, and again he becomes a woman. Okay, so now see how the material nature is taking forward. See how the material nature is playing in the life of Sudyumna. So now Sudyumna becomes a woman, and because he or she, Sudyumna has become a woman now. She is strolling inside the forest because she doesn't want to come to the kingdom as a woman. Okay, she is strolling inside the forest, and then there is son of moon. His name is Buddha. He is also in the forest, so he gets attracted by Sudyumna. He gets attracted by Sudyumna in the female form, and then they eventually get married, and through them a son is born called Pururava. Okay, so now see, Sudyumna is a king, he is a male, but he is going into forest, becoming a female, and getting married, and then having a son. Okay, now then Sudyumna realizes, in his female form, realizes that he should not be here. He's actually a king. So then he remembers again his guru Vashishta, and then Vashishta, seeing Sudyumna's condition, he is not very happy. So what does Vashishta do? Vashishta, he again prays to Lord Shiva, because this forest belongs to Lord Shiva, and this the curse that curse or whatever it is, the curse that whoever comes into this forest becomes a feminine character, is the curse of Lord Shiva. So so he prays to Lord Shiva, and then Lord Shiva says that okay, fine, I'm happy with your whatever prayers, but I cannot give up the benediction which I have given to Parvati. So what can be done is that 1 month Sudyumna will be male, and 1 month he will be female. So Lord Shiva grants this, whatever you can say is an adjustment, right? So then Sudyumna, he becomes 1 month male, and when he is 1 month male, he is in the kingdom and he is ruling the subjects. And then the next month, he becomes a female, and then he is in the forest. So this is how Sudhimna's life is. So now, my question to you, devotees. Now, Matajis especially. Now, this is August month. All your husbands are male. Now, in September month, they become female. Just how do you feel? Oh my God. Okay. Okay. Nice. Yes, Prabhuji's. This month, all your wives' spouses are female. And next month they become male. Uh-huh. Okay. So you're okay with that? Okay. Okay, anyways. Mhm. Okay. So anyways, Bhagavatam says that the subjects whom Sudhimna was ruling, they were not very happy because 1 month he is male, he is there ruling, we can approach him. And next month we cannot approach him. So the lesson to be learned in this particular pastime is that pastime or the incident is that this material world is not the right place to live. So this material world, you cannot have happiness alone. There will be always distress. There will be always challenges. So it's like an ice cream. You have a bowl of ice cream, and then you put a handful of sand in it, and mix it, and then you take the ice cream. How do you feel? Not good, but you still feel a little bit taste of ice cream, right? But that is all with, kadak, kadak, kadak. You will feel the sand particles with that. So the happiness in this material world or the material happiness is like that. So this is what this pastime, teaches us. The Sudhimna pastime teaches us. So this is the reason we have to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, that one comes out of this material happiness and experience the transcendental happiness. Transcendental happiness is not like the material happiness where, sometimes you are happy, sometimes you are unhappy. So transcendental happiness is a state where you are always happy. You are always satisfied. So there's a sloka in Bhagavatam, right? Savai pumsham paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahituki apratiyata yenatma suprasidati. That yenatma suprasidati, the satisfaction of the heart, that is always there. It's not that, we are satisfied for some days and not satisfied for another days. But if you are doing bhakti, if you are performing the surrendering process and we are able to come to a particular mature stage of surrender, then we reach that state of transcendental happiness. So that's the difference. So that's why we have to take shelter of the Lord. Otherwise, this material world is always challenging. We will be having sometimes happiness and there will be distress in many times. So that's the typical nature of the material world. We can see that in the marriages, right? During the marriage, we see that the bride and bridegroom, they think that he'll be a good match. Like just an example, the bridegroom will be having a lot of hair, but after marriage, all the hair will go away, right? And similarly, the bride probably, she looks beautiful before marriage, but after marriage, she becomes fat, obese and other things. So now people will be thinking, what is this? I married with so-and-so expectation, but that's not happening. So that's how the material world is, material happiness is. Yes, an incident happened last week. There was a techie who was working in probably an IT company in Pune in India. The meeting was going on and suddenly he told that I'm getting some chest pain. And then he went out and it was somewhere in 7th floor or something. In the same campus, he jumped from 7th floor and committed suicide. And then he left a suicide note saying that I am not a worthy son of my father. So please forgive me, Father. So why is all this thing happening? Because people um, are, are, are not convinced of the temporary happiness of this material world. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Matras prashastu kaunteya sitoshana dukha dukkata agama paino nityas tam titikshava bharata. So in this material world, happiness will come, distress will also come. So the distress is not going to stay always. Probably if that particular techie, if he has read Bhagavad Gita, has understood this, that okay, see, this is a phase of unhappiness, what material unhappiness which I'm going through, but there will be also a phase of happiness which I will be getting in this material. He would have not took this decision. So so this is the reason one has to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, because this material happiness is flickering, and the spiritual happiness is the permanent happiness which one can experience, and that's what we are all hankering for. We are all hankering for that spiritual happiness, and that spiritual happiness we will get it only if we take shelter of the Supreme Lord, not by any means. There is absolutely no other means than taking shelter of Supreme Lord to get the spiritual happiness. So how is there anywhere in Bhagavad Gita where spiritual happiness is mentioned? Yes, in 18th chapter we have a sloka. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labate param. Brahma bhuta prasannatma. Prasannatma means he is so happy. So that even this particular sloka, it has not even talked about bhakti, entering into bhakti. It is just B1 before bhakti, the impersonal revelation. It talks about the realization of one is a soul. If one realizes that one is a soul, he is so happy that he is not worried about the dualities of this material world. So this is the reason one has to take shelter of the Supreme Lord, that one realizes the futility of the material happiness of this material world, and then one aims for, or one desires to have permanent unadulterated spiritual happiness. So we discussed about the spiritual happiness and material happiness. Now, how do we get to this spiritual happiness, which is unadulterated, unceasing? What is the process? So the process which is mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the purport is the process of surrender or Saranagati. So this is the sloka which Prabhupada mentions. Can we recite this sloka? Anukulyasya sankalpa Pratikulyasya varjanam Rakshishyati vishvasho Goptritve varnam tata Atmanikshepakarpanye Sadvidha sharanagatihi. So this is the process which is given by the acharyas. So this is a sloka from Hari Bhakti Vilas. So if one takes to this process of surrender, or the 6 items, Shadvidha. Shadvidha means 6 items which is mentioned in this sloka. Then one can progress in the Sharanagati, one can progress in the taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. So what are these items? So let's see it one by one. Anukulyasya Sankalpa. The devotee has to accept everything that is favorable for rendering the transcendental service to the Lord. So this is the first item, that whatever is favorable for Krishna consciousness, whatever is favorable for chanting, doing devotional service, that we have to accept. Like for example, if you are having a job which is favorable for Krishna consciousness, you better accept that job. Then the job, probably it will be giving you a little more pay, but that it is not very favorable for practicing Krishna consciousness. So that's a small example. So I know a devotee, this is also, this was when when he was trying to get married. He was looking for some matches to get married, and then we were under a brahmachari, and he was going and saying to the brahmachari, Prabhuji, this girl's nose is not sharp, you know. And then another photo, and Prabhuji, this girl's nose is very blunt, you know. He was looking all these factors, and there is one more devotee. He was like, you know, I don't want to get married to a girl who is of the same caste, because he somehow had the impression that his caste people don't accept Krishna consciousness, don't accept bhakti. So then he was thinking that, you know, I don't want to get married with any girl who is of my same caste. So then, so here, as per the principle of Saranagati, so one is not supposed to see all these things. What one is supposed to see is whether that particular match is going to help him advance in Krishna consciousness. So that is the first criteria one has to see. And if one is able to find such a match, then one has to accept without any inhibition, without considering all other bodily designations. So this is a small example of, you know, how one can make decisions which are favorable to devotional service. Then, yeah. So the next item is Pratikulyasya Varjanam. Pratikulyasya Varjanam is one must reject everything which is unfavorable for devotional service. So this is also the aspect of surrender. Srila Prabhupada has emphasized to follow 4 rules and regulations: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. So all these 4, if somebody is engaged or involved in it, then actually it stops one to surrender from Krishna. So one has to avoid all these 4 vices that is there in the society. And in any other decision also should be took based on this principle. So our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, when he got married, he got married, and actually he was not very happy in the marriage. It comes in Leelamrita. He was not very happy, and then he decides to find another girl for marriage, and he was looking for another girl for marriage. Then Srila Prabhupada's father, Gaur Mohan De, then he advises Srila Prabhupada that, see, you may not like your wife, that's fine, but then it will help you to be renounced. So, it's okay that, it's okay if you don't like as well. So, Srila Prabhupada took that instruction or recommendation of his father. So this is an example of Pratikulyasya Varjanam, that, see, you are trying to do something, you are thinking that, it is good for you, but then a guru or a superior says that, see, it is not going to be good for you, so better you do like this. So then he takes that particular instruction seriously, because his focus is devotional service and not to enjoy this material world. The third item is Rakshishyati Vishwasho. A devotee must be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him protection. So this is an item of surrender, that a devotee should be convinced that Krishna will protect him. What about getting convinced that Krishna will protect him? Sometimes even devotees get a doubt that Krishna is there or not. So I know when I was in ISKCON Hyderabad, when I was attending Bhakti Viksha, one devotee who was like chanting Hare Krishna for many years, he came to the Bhakti Viksha leader, and then he told, Prabhuji, I am chanting Hare Krishna, it's fine, but I am getting a doubt whether Krishna is there or not. And then, so, this type of things, see, it's not wrong. I mean, like, it's not his fault, because the material nature as well as the situation, the Kali Yuga nature is that if we go outside, we will get all sorts of doubts and that comes in our and sits in our mind. Somebody will say, what is this, doing Hare Krishna? Why are you chanting all this thing? Leave all this nonsense. Enjoy your life. All these things the people would say, and so people will naturally get doubt. So, so this is the item where the Rakshishyati Vishwato. So this particular Sharanagati principle is that one should be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him all protection. So there was one pastime which happened with Srila Prabhupada. There was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. He was chanting Hare Krishna, and then this was during early days. He went to Srila Prabhupada and he said to Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, we are chanting Hare Krishna every day. Every day we are chanting 16 rounds. Say if we chant this 16 rounds every day Hare Krishna our whole lifetime, and at the end of lifetime, if we get to know that Krishna is not there, then what will happen, Srila Prabhupada? Okay. Whole lifetime we will chant Hare Krishna, but at the end of lifetime, now we will get to know that Krishna is not there. What will happen? It's a waste of time, right? His point is that, it's a waste of time we are doing all these things, right? If we don't know that Krishna is actually there or not. So then Srila Prabhupada twisted whatever he said, and he put this question to him. See, whole lifetime if you didn't chant Hare Krishna, whole lifetime you didn't chant Hare Krishna, but at the end of the life you got to know that Krishna is there, then what will happen to you? So it's a waste of time, right? So better to chant Hare Krishna than to remain doubtful. That's what Srila Prabhupada emphasized there. So this is like, the various aspects of Rakshishyati Vishwasho that Krishna will give us protection. And then the fourth principle is Goptrutve Varanam Tata. A devotee should accept Krishna as the supreme maintainer and master. So in India, especially when I was small in my hometown, many Matajis, they used to do a lot of vratas. Monday this vrata, Tuesday this vrata, Wednesday this vrata. And so Krishna's point here, or this sloka's point here is that we should not do all those things. One should be convinced that Krishna is the supreme maintainer and he will protect him. So the problem is not doing the vrata. The problem is the intention of the vrata. So Monday they will go and worship Lord Shiva. Tuesday and they will go and worship Lord Ganesha. Wednesday and they will go and worship some Mata, Meenakshi or somebody. So actually, whose devotees are they then? So they are not devotees of Shiva, Vishnu or Durga or anybody. They are devotees of their material desires. They are devotees of their material desires. What they are aiming for is not devotion. What they are aiming for is the fulfillment of the material desire. So this is what here it is mentioned, that one should not come to Krishna for one should understand that Krishna would maintain him in whatever circumstances he is in, and that he is already doing it. Krishna is already doing it. Krishna is already maintaining us, and that conviction one should have. The next principle is Atma Nikshepa Karpanya. Self-surrender means remembering that one's activities and desires are not independent. The devotee is completely dependent on Krishna, and he acts and thinks as Krishna desires. So one can have desires, one can have many desires, but we should see that our desires are dovetailed with Krishna's desire. Like for example, if somebody is wealthy, if somebody is having a lot of money, probably they can think of constructing Krishna's temple, or they can think of using that money for spreading the Sankirtan movement. So in that way, our aims and goals should be aligned with what Krishna wants. So this is also a principle of surrender, that yes, you have some desire, but then make your desire go in parallel with Krishna's desire, so that Krishna's purpose is also fulfilled. So this is a very, very important aspect of surrender. And for Grihasthas, this principle is very important. Prabhupada Prabhupada says about this, he uses the word dovetailed. He has many times used the word dovetailed. See, you can have some skills, but you can dovetail it in Krishna's service. Like if somebody is a photographer, he can take the photos of Krishna and put it in social media sites. So that means he is having that skill, but then his karma, his activities, but his karma is utilized for Krishna service. So this is also an aspect of surrender. So this is basically it's almost like karma yoga. This is also a principle of surrender. So I know one devotee, he memorized all 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. And he didn't go for any specific class. We had some class here, right? Gita chanting class, where people will come and learn Gita reciting, and then learn, recite slokas and then memorize Gita slokas. So what he would do is that whenever he goes to any mall or something, he will write one sloka in a small paper. And whenever he goes there, he will just see this sloka and keep memorizing and do whatever activities he's doing. Okay. So in this way, he memorized entire 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita. So this is an example that, see, you are having some facility, you are having some time. Now, how you utilize it perfectly in Krishna consciousness. So all these items are the principles of Saranagati. So Saranagati is not an utopian idea that nobody can practice. It is a principle which is always there and very practical. So in fact, the Saranagati is not like, see, this day I have surrendered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not that. Saranagati is a process where one can do many things favorable to Krishna. One can reject many things which are not favorable to Krishna consciousness. So it is a process, and every time, this process can be followed. At any place, this process can be followed. So this is what is Saranagati. So what happens if one does Saranagati? So that we will see the last part of this lecture. But then, why does one take shelter of the Supreme Lord during distress? What happens one takes shelter of the Supreme Lord when he is not in distress? So there is a beautiful Hindi poem which Srila Prabhupada quotes in Srimad Bhagavatam 9.10.14. So the poem goes like this, 4 lines. I think people who are from North India might be knowing it. Duke se sabha hari bhaje, suke se bhaje koi. Suke se agar hari bhaje, dukha khatan se hoy. Have somebody heard of this? No? You have heard? Okay. So the meaning of this poem is that Duke se sabha hari bhaje. If somebody is in distress, then they worship the Lord. They do Hari Bhajan. They come to the Lord, they worship the Lord, they pray to the Lord. Sukhe se bhaje koi. So if somebody is in happiness, generally they forget Lord, the God. They don't take the bhajan seriously, they don't take chanting seriously and everything. So that's the inert nature of this material world. But the next 2 lines are very inspiring. Sukhe se agar Hari bhaje. But if somebody is happy, but still if he does Hari Bhajan, then he says, this poet says, Duke kahan se hoy. Then you will not get distress only. You will not get distress only. So the point here is that when one is doing Saranagati, one is performing the process of Saranagati. It's not that one has to perform the process only when one is in distress. So when one who is in happiness, if he can follow this process of Saranagati, then distress will not come to him only. So that's the point. Okay, so we saw why one should take shelter of the Supreme Lord, and we saw the process of how to take shelter of Supreme Lord, Sharanagati, in the 6 items, which is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Now, the next question is, see, I want to surrender. I want to surrender to the Supreme Lord. I want to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. But will the Lord accept my surrender? That's the question, right? Say that 2 countries are fighting. One country lost, and the another country is winning. The losing country goes to the winning country and says that, no, we will surrender to you. But the winning country doesn't accept the surrender. They keep on bombing the losing country. So the surrender doesn't make any sense, right? So surrender happens, or the taking shelter happens if somebody who gives shelter is ready to give shelter. So now the question is, see, you are struggling in this material world. You are having shuka, dukkha, shoka, moha, bhaya, and everything. So you are coming to the Supreme Lord, and you are saying that, my dear Lord, I'm really suffering. Let me take shelter of you. But the Lord should accept you, right? So how do we know that the Lord will accept us? So that's the question, right? So this is an episode which comes in Ramayana. So Vibhishana is kicked out of Lanka by Ravana, because Vibhishana says to Ravana to hand over Sita to Lord Ram. So Ravana doesn't like it. He just kicks, he literally kicks on Vibhishana, and he asks Vibhishana to get out. So Vibhishana is now out, and then he cannot go back to Ravana again. And now the question is, Vibhishana, and he has his 4 faithful followers. So they are having a question, what to do? No. So one of the follower of Vibhishana says that, let's take shelter of Lord Ram. And Vibhishana feels that is right. Yeah, we should take shelter of Lord Ram. And then they go to Lord Ram. But they were not sure whether Lord Ram will accept or not, because they are coming from enemy side, right? It's not that, Vibhishana was somebody who was supporting Lord Ram, and then they are coming from enemy camp. And so they were not very sure. So Vibhishana and his 4 followers, they go to Lord Ram, where Lord Ram stays. And then Vibhishana says, we have come to take shelter of you from a far distance. And then Sugriva, he becomes doubtful. And then he sends 2 of the Vanaras to Vibhishan to find out who are they. And the Vanaras, they speak with Vibhishan, and they understand that they have not come with an ill intention. And then they relay back the message to Lord Ram and Sugriva. Then Lord Ram, he asks opinion of different devotees. First he asks Sugriva, what is his opinion? Should we give shelter to Vibhishan? So Sugriva says that he gives many reasons. Sugriva gives many reasons. One of the reasons he gives is that, Marichi, who came in the form of the deer, he was sent by Ravana to deceive the Lord. And then when Marichi deceived the Lord and Lakshmana, then Ravana kidnapped Sita. So this could be also like a plot where Vibhishana is sent to our camp so that he aids Ravana. So this was his doubt, and he was not very favorable for Lord giving shelter to Vibhishan. So Sugriva, he says, no, we should not give shelter. So that's his opinion. So then Lord Ram turns to Jambavan. So Jambavan is also having a similar opinion. He says that, the demons deceit a lot. So he might also have come with some ulterior motive. So let's not give him shelter, or let's not accept whatever he's saying. So this is Jambavan's whatever opinion. So there is a monkey commander called Neela. He describes about many different ways how enemy person will come and take shelter of the actual king. So he discusses on many other things, but finally he says that no, I'm not able to decide, or I'm not able to suggest whether you should give shelter or you should not get shelter. And then finally Lord Ram, he turns back to Hanuman, and then he asks Hanuman, what should we do? So Hanuman, he puts forward many different points. So first thing he says that, see, you have defeated Vali and given the kingdom to Sugriva. So maybe Vibhishana knows that you will defeat Lord Ram, and that's why he's taking a safer place. Maybe he's thinking that you will just like you defeated Vali and gave the kingdom to Sugriva, you will defeat Ravan and give the kingdom to Vibhishan too. Might be he's thinking like that. So that was his first point. And then Hanuman says few other points. One of the major thing Hanuman says is that, see, there is something which I know about Vibhishana, which you all don't know. So when I was as a messenger, I went as a messenger in Ravana's courtyard, and Ravana told his soldiers to kill me. So at that time, Vibhishana was the person who told a messenger should not be killed. And he protested. And this is one point which Hanuman says. And then Hanuman says that when Sita was in low morale during the days when she was in Lanka, under the captivity of Ravana, Vibhishana's daughter, she was the one, she was like consoling Sita. She was saying that Ravana has a curse that whoever woman he tries to enjoy or touch without the willingness of that woman, he will be burnt to ashes. So Vibhishana's daughter was the one who was giving a lot of confidence to Sita. So and then Hanuman was also said that when all these three brothers, Vibhishan, Kumbhakarna and Ravana, they were doing austerities, and when the austerities, when the time of boon came, Vibhishan chose that he wants infinite wisdom. So Vibhishan chose the boon that he wants the infinite wisdom. So then Hanuman's point is that which Rakshasa, instead of choosing infinite power, chooses infinite wisdom, right? So he puts all these points and then says to Lord Ram that we have to give him shelter, and even if he is like going to do some mischief after coming into our camp, then we can take care of him. So the analogy what he gives is that how can a small pond consume a whole ocean? So here ocean is considered Lord Ram and pond is considered Vibhishan. Even if Vibhishan comes into our camp, he is going to do some mischief or do some harm, then we can take care of it. So Lord Ram, after hearing all this points, he becomes very happy, and Lord Ram, he gives some of the examples. He gives how King Sibi had given his own flesh to save